So let's kick off then with what we know and love here at Westwood Table Soccer. You will recognise a lot of the pieces that you see in front of me here. These are Santiago's, available at www.santiagotablesoccer.co.uk, which will be, the link to this place will be in the description. This is basically the quintessential classic heavyweight era, so all the way from original heavyweight through classic heavyweight replica place. This is where I come to get this stuff, because it's the era that I love, but there are different figures and base types available. So what we're going to do, we're going to kick off down here with these bases, okay? They come in two parts. They come in the classic bowl section, the classic heavyweight base bowl section. Now the washers for these guys are already glued in, okay guys? So you cannot put your own weights in these by taking these washers out and adding them. You can if you want to try and force them out, but they are super glued in. I have mentioned this before, and I will mention it more when we do our Santiago specific video. You can add weight to these, and if you want to know now and you don't want to wait, if you head over to a video that's going to appear in the top right hand corner now, you will head over to the Painting Academy Part 6, the final episode, where I show you how I add weight and how I glue my players into these, okay? But I will also show that again in a specific Santiago bases and discs, how they paint, how to put them together, what they're like, what the colors do, etc, etc, on a separate video. But if you don't want to wait, have to click over to that video. The discs, obviously, they're available here, and when they get put together, they look like this. Loads and loads of colors available. There are 10 standard colors available, and there are also some limited edition colors, which you have a look over and explore on the website. You will find the limited edition bases are a little bit more expensive. So let's now come on to the figures that we've got out in front of us here. Now I'm going to kick off with these guys at the top. These are the standard goalkeeper that you will get from Santiago goalkeepers, okay, or Santiago Table Soccer. These are the crouchers. They are available in white plastic or flesh plastic, but all my white plastic ones have now been used because I used them for the Humbrol Colours video and for another future Colours video we've got coming up. But they are the standard croucher. They're quite bulky, they're quite well built. Obviously they're a little bit thicker than the outfield figures because they've got to save shots. They do need to be strong. So if ever you've wondered why the goalkeepers always look to have maybe a thicker plastic or look a little bit more chunky, it's for that reason. They need to be stronger. They're having the ball hitting them, players hitting them all the time. They need to be strong. My personal opinion on these is I prefer diving goalkeepers, so I always spend a little bit more with Mark to get diving goalkeepers, which he then gets in from someone else. So it does cost like an extra £1 each to get diving goalkeepers, but you can get diving goalkeepers from Santiago Table Soccer. Like I say, if you ask for them, they do cost more money than the standard set prices on the website, because the croucher is what comes as standard. Goalkeeper rods, traditionally standard, come in green. It does have a range of colors. I don't know exactly at the moment what all the goalkeeper rod range of colors are. I know with the Painting Academy we had a gold option available, which you will have seen. There's this grey one which I've had for quite a long time, so I can't tell you 100% if there's still grey ones available, but by all means drop him an email. His email address at the top of his website. If you have any questions about whether goalkeeper rod colors you can get, email him. He's a top guy over at Santiago. Mark and Mary are amazing. Love those guys. Met them loads of times. We've been working together for years and years and years. So the first one we're going to come on to in the first figure type, these are the type 1s, okay guys? Now I get asked this quite a lot. What's the difference on Santiago between type 1 vintage and type 2? So this is a great opportunity to answer that question. Type 1s are these guys. Now type 1 Santiago figures are based on the original plastic three-dimensional molded figures that Subbuteo created back in the late 50s and the 60s, okay? Now originally Subbuteo, as we've discovered, unless you're not new to Subbuteo, Subbuteo started out on cardboard / celluloid, what we call them here, like a flat cardboard cutout that went into old army buttons, okay? When they started then molding figures, this is pretty much what they came up with as their first, they call them continental style. So they go into these figures and bases. There were molded figures that were slightly different, but these guys here are the type 1s, and they are based on the original heavyweights, okay? They're a little bit, they always look a little bit off balance to me, the original heavyweight figures. I'll get you guys some images on screen now of them in bases. But I love them. They've got a little bit of a charm to them, all based in short sleeves, so they have a mold line here and all base with a V-neck, that classic 60s short sleeve V-neck kit. These guys are perfect for that. Lovely, lovely balance and a great replica of that original heavyweight era with Subbuteo. I've only got white plastic versions of these here, so I'm not 100% sure if they are available in the flesh plastic as well. So because I don't know, I'm going to say only available in white. That could be wrong. Again, I'm sure if you click over to Santiago, you'll be able to find it. And if there's not any information on there, as I said, just ask Mark. But absolutely love these guys. I don't use them as much as maybe I'd like to. I find in my historical kit work, my kit frames and stuff, they don't quite suit, but for Westwood Table Soccer Club, I'm going to try and get these bad boys in there sometimes. I think they're a cool little figure and a lovely little design. What I'm going to do now is jump down to this bottom row before we talk about these guys over here, okay? So this is the Type 2 figure. These are both the exact same mold type, with the exception that these guys are obviously in fresh plastic and these guys are in white plastic. At Westwood Table Soccer, we only ever use white plastic. Now, when I first started out, I used to use fresh plastic and white plastic, so a mixture of the two. Our reason, and I will show you this as an example in the Santiago specific video, is that on white plastic, I get what I like to call here true color. When you paint onto flesh plastic, this tone, this pigment will change how a color looks when you paint onto it, but I will show you that in a specific Santiago painting video. So these guys represent what I call the best era of Subbuteo, that classic heavyweight, the 1/190 poster that you've all seen and everybody loves, those brilliant colors. That's where these guys come from. I love these. These are my favorite figure type. Aesthetically, Subbuteo peaked when they hit these figures. They're so good, they look amazing, and Mark's representation of them is absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about then these guys up at the top here. Now, these are an exclusive figure to Santiago. You cannot get any kind of replica of this figure type anywhere else. These are the Santiago vintage, a gap in the market. Those original 1800s Victorian style kits, they're perfect for these. These guys are amazing. I love them. I use them a lot in my historical kit frame artwork. You've got massive chunky woolly socks on, really long shorts. I think they're amazing. So these are like the main 3 figure types that you can get at Santiago. In terms of then putting your bases and your discs together, it's nice and simple. You've got your base here. You've got your disc, which has the wrong side. It's got 2 little holes in it here, or 2 little indents here, and a small Santiago text. Okay, it's got small lettering on there. You flip it the other way round, and what you have here is just a Santiago lettering in big, like they used to do with Subbuteo and the bar, and you literally just push it into itself there. And then the figures, okay, they just pop in. They just slide in. Now, how good does that guy look there? So they're on a little bit of a walk. I love them. That's really cool. Let's get one of each figure in here while we're here. Let's do it. We've got a double orange. Looking good. And what we'll do, because we don't show them very often, here are the old flesh plastic guys as well. So that's how they go together. Really simple. Goalkeepers, exactly the same. They just slide into that little recess. Like I said, absolutely love these. We're going to talk about the Santiago Spitfire bases in a little while. So we're going to come on to them in a minute. So that is where I'm going to leave the Santiago element. These guys, as I said, these guys